Well, good morning and welcome to the 2017 Lendy Cows Week. It all kicks off here today. 700 boats, about 40 classes. It's going to be an absolute cracker.
And they're all clear, so it's a port tack start. But do they have as much breeze? I think maybe the tide's a little bit better for them there.
On the day before racing started, we caught up with regatta director Phil Hagan to find out what was in store this year.
Cows Week is our premier yachting regatta in the UK. It started in 1826. It's continued to grow over the years, and I think what it does is it offers a cross-section of sailing to the really keen professional sailors and also the more Corinthian-spirited ones. And we have a cruiser division which accommodates people trying to move into the racing that are not normally used to it. So I like to think it's a broad church of opportunity for people that enjoy what we do racing on the water. When you consider that in a day we've somewhere between 37, 38 starts a day of 700 plus boats, and I've said this before, doing in the region of 500 different mark roundings in the Solent, one definitely doesn't want to have them going around the same mark the opposite way. So it's a very complex event as well. We've introduced the Triple Crown this year. Like all new events or new parts, that's going to take a little bit of building. Delighted that the Duke of Edinburgh has given us a trophy for that, so a very unique and wonderful thing to have. The big sort of 100-foot type boats, they don't want to go around every small mark. Their draft stops them doing that. So we want to provide something well thought out for them with an eastern approaches race, a western approaches race to the Solent and around the island for the 3 centre days of the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And we want this to attract, in particularly a Fastnet year, some real glamour back into it. And the response I've had so far from has been really positive and saying that this event should grow. So we're excited to kick it off this year, and that's a new addition for us.
Lendy Cows Week is as much about what happens on shore as it is about what happens on the water. Kate Johnson explains.
There's such a lot of people want to come and visit, and we're just keen to put as much on as we possibly can. So we have themed days, so starting on Sunday with Family Day. I mean, that's a great day because it's lovely to see all the youngsters here and the families enjoying it as much as the older people who are maybe out racing. It's lovely to see families watching, absorbing, they'll be the races of the future really. So Family Day is fun. Then on Monday we're really focusing on our event charity. That's obviously a really important day for us. We're highlighting the work of the Andrew Simpson Foundation, trying to support them as much as we can. They've got some fabulous activity going on throughout the day. So Cows Bash out on the water, and then a big party happening in Cows Yacht Haven that evening. Ladies' Day on Tuesday is probably a personal favourite. I quite like to champion the cause of celebrating women in sailing. Lots going on that day. We've got the Magenta Project ladies here. There's a big reception on Tuesday evening. So the Tuesday there's lots going on, and then Wednesday Youth Day, so really looking at our under 25-year-old sailors. And I could go on. I mean, there's just so much happening and I enjoy every day.
And of course fireworks on Friday.
How could I forget fireworks on Friday? Of course, 9:30, the Lendy Cows Week fireworks will be going off with a bang.
With a stubborn low pressure sitting over the north of the country and fronts coming up from the west, the weather was always going to be the subject of conversation for the opening day of Lendy Cows Week.
I think the trickiest thing about the Solent is just its changeability. You think the southwesterly is the prevailing wind, but each day you get something slightly different. You might get a front coming through that changes it anywhere from northwest to south. The sea breeze, particularly, I imagine for foreign sailors, is really quite confusing here. The only other place I've been in the world where it's quite any more confusing is probably Auckland. Cows Week this year looks pretty nice. Southwesterly winds prevailing at least into the middle of the week, but a little bit of a mix of weather. So we've got a warm front coming up, going to bring some pretty heavy rain, unfortunately due just after lunchtime. So starting off with southwesterly wind, but looking for that front coming through and the wind coming round to the south.
The opening day here at Lendy Cows Week turned out to be quite a wet affair. But to be fair, it was always on the cards. The forecasters said that the rain would come down in the afternoon, and it did. But the good news was that in the morning it was dry, there was an 8 to 12 knot breeze and perfect conditions, particularly for the opening day of the event. Most of the racing for the big boat classes went down to the West Solent. The white group classes went up around the middle of the Solent and raced around there. But in the end, the rain came down in the afternoon and actually squashed the breeze, and there really wasn't much breeze left by the end of the day. That didn't seem to dampen the enthusiasm of the teams. I think most people were just happy to get out there and get the week's racing underway.